Hey everybody, I have actually figured out another hairstyle that works on my hair and I was very excited about it. I immediately talked on the phone to my sister and I was like, I have a new hairstyle, it's so exciting. So it's exciting to me because it's rare for me to come up with different hairstyles that will practically work for my hair. I can do several that take forever, but I don't want it to take forever because I want variety in my life. And I don't want to spend an hour or two trying to put my hair up and have it look pretty for no one else to see but me if I don't leave the house that day. So this is the hairstyle that I figured out that is functional and I think it's pretty and it's comfortable for me to wear. So that's all important, and it usually takes less than 20 minutes for me to get my hair up this way. So I'm going to share that with you today. What you will need are a couple of hair bands, one of these plastic hair end thingies. Always so hard to show these on camera because they're clear. And possibly a couple of hairpins. These are my hairpins of choice, but with this hairstyle, sometimes I use standard hairpins and sometimes I use these, sometimes I use both, but you only need like 2 or 3 of them. Okay, so you start by putting your hair in a low ponytail. I'm standing on it. And you want it to be not incredibly loose of a ponytail, but it doesn't have to be super tight either, if you know what I'm saying. I'm getting there, I'm almost there. Last one is always the hardest. Haha! Okay. Whew. Okay, so hair in low ponytail. Now, this is something that I have to do for me. If you don't have floor length hair, you may have to approach this differently, but that's just the way it is. So, what I do next is I measure about halfway down my hair. Let me see, I gotta actually test this with like where it falls on me. So for me, that's round about halfway down my body. And at this point, you're gonna put another ponytail. Now it is important to try to keep it even and straight down where you grab it, because if you pull it around you and then smooth it out again, then you might end up with unevenness when you try to do the second part of this phase. So you're going to put a ponytail holder about halfway down your hair if you have really long hair. If not, I don't know if I can help you. I'm sure if you have short hair, there's an easier way to do this hairstyle than us long-haired people have to do, but it does turn out really pretty. Okay, so with this second half of hair, I'm just going to do a standard 3-strand braid, so nothing too exciting, and I'm going to come back to you when I get that done. Okay, I'm back and I have braided the lower half of my hair. I've actually done a bit of a looser braid, so it appears a little bit thicker than it probably is. I don't know, I usually braid really, really tightly, and I'm purposely trying to make this braid looser because it is decorative only. Like, it serves no other purpose besides decoration, and it assists in putting up the rest of the hairstyle, which I'll show you in a minute. But with the end, since I don't need all of this, I'm just going to wrap it around my fingers and put that aforementioned hairdo bobber around the end. And this just makes it a little bit easier to hide it in the bun whenever I'm finished, to not have that extra strand on the end. So one more of these. Okay, and so we have our little end on the end. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is make a space right here above our first Da-da-da. So we have a space that you can stick your thumb through. And for the rest of this process, I no longer need this hair end. So I'm just going to pull that off. Just going to use my knee for leverage there. Oh, should have done that first. I was not thinking. You got to see a bit of my poor balance there. I have incredibly poor balance. Okay, so that extra hair end is off now because its only purpose was for us to be able to braid the second half without a bunch of issues. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take this braid and through the top of this hole that we've made, we're going to pass the braid through. Dun, dun, dun. It's a bit tricky to get the first one, but after that it's easier to find your hole. All right, so that is the first pass. And you see it does this like pretty little twist thing. Sometimes that shows up on the end product, sometimes not. But we're just going to continue passing this braid through until we have used up all of that extra loose hair that's in between the ponytail and the braid. As you go, it's good form to try to smooth through any loose hairs that are sticking up or doing unpretty things, because it just helps make for a nicer end product. I'll smooth that out. So as I'm doing this, I can tell you about previously in my life when I tried to do this hairstyle. I would try to do it the traditional way that short-haired people do it, and I couldn't achieve the effect I was going for. Because I had so much hair to try to wrap that by the time I got to the end, it was like comically large bun on the back of my head. And it was not comfortable at all. And it was usually incredibly frizzy by the time I was done because I had done so many passes through with like my little hair on the end. And it just wasn't practical at all for me to do because it was almost impossible to get up and almost impossible to take down. So we're getting really close. Probably just one or two more passes and we will be done wrapping our hair. Okay, I'm actually going to look at the back of my head with the mirror here so I see what I'm doing. Doing pretty good. Slightly lopsided, which can be fixed just by pulling some of the hair over to where you actually want it to be. Yeah, I'm liking that better. So you have this crescent on the back of your head now. And while this is only half of my hair, since it's the top half, it's still quite thick and large. So the next thing I'm going to do might sound kind of funny, but I am wrapping this braid across the top of my head. And this is just, you can leave this here and pin it in place, or this can just be a temporary part of the process. For me, today, this is just going to be a temporary part of the process, but I do think this is kind of fun sometimes. And since it's the bottom half of my hair, the braid isn't so large as whenever I wrap like a full braid around my head. So it's kind of nice, kind of a little headband of hair, but this is not what I'm going for today. So this is an option, but not a necessity. So after you wrap this around your head, you're going to just wrap the excess around the original bun and hopefully tuck this little fella in somewhere. I think I'm just going to stick him right up the middle there. Okay, so that has been wrapped, and now we're going to take this off of the top of my head and give it a little twist and wrap it around the remaining bun. So now I have a larger, more decorative braid on the top so that you can actually see. Let me check that again in the mirror. Yeah, that's all right. That did all right this time. So I have a decorative braid on the top, and it's all very nicely wrapped and wound. And I could probably leave it like this and it would stay, but I prefer to make it a little bit more solid with a couple of these hairpins. And so I'm just twisting these through the braid and through part of the bun so that the braid doesn't decide to slide or shift anywhere during the day. And at this point, if you have any weird flyaways or your bun is doing anything you don't like, at this point you can take some smaller pins and adjust the little individual strands to where you like it. I'm satisfied with this. I'm not going anywhere today, so this is fine for me. If I was, going to a wedding with this hair, I would probably spend a little bit more time trying to get it perfect, but I gotta adjust this pin. It's stabbing my head. Ah, that's better. But yeah, that is my new hairstyle, and I really enjoyed that it's a low bun. This is one of the only low bun hairstyles I've ever been able to pull off, because usually it just feels like heavy on the back of your head. This one doesn't, because it's actually pulling from hair on either side instead of pulling straight back, because we made that separation. I also like this hairstyle because I can wear a baseball cap and not have to readjust my entire head to put it on. So I can just put on a baseball cap and it fits on the top of my hair. And that's amazing for me. I know for some people, they wear baseball caps all the time and it's not a problem. For me, if I want my hair out of the way and I want to wear a baseball cap, usually I can't get those things to work together. But yeah, this works with a baseball cap, which means this summer I'm probably going to be wearing my hair like this a lot, because my husband has a convertible, which he likes to ride with the top down, and if I don't wear a baseball cap, my face will just burn off. So I have to wear a hat, and this will make it that much easier to wear a hat. So it's very exciting. So yeah, that is my new hairstyle. I'll show it one last time. This is probably just a wraparound bun with a braid accent, really. But it is relatively practical for me to get done, and so I wanted to share that with you guys because I'm excited about it. So yeah, that's it. See ya!